Continuing on with lesson 12, we are going to learn how to write an equation when you're given 2 points off of the line. So for example, 1 here, it says write the equation in slope-intercept form. So that means y equals mx plus b. That passes through the points 1, 5, and 9, 21. So the first thing that we need, well, if you think about slope-intercept form, mx plus b, we need the slope, which is m, and we need the y-intercept, which is b. So step number 1 is to find the slope. And we use that formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Remember, your first points are your x and y1, and your second points are your x and y2s. So y2 minus y1, so y out of the second point is 21, minus y out of the first is 5. And then x out of the second point is 9, minus x out of the first is 1. So 21 minus 5 would leave us with 16, and 9 minus 1 is 8, and 16 divided by 8 is 2. So far we know that m is 2. Then for step 2, we're going to plug in slope and 1 point. And it does not matter which point you pick, just one of those points. So I'm going to pick 1, 5 because they're smaller numbers to work with. So let me write those over here. So y equals mx plus b. Y is from our point, which would be 5. M is 2, and x is 1. And then we need to figure out what b is. So as you can see, this is the same as what we were doing the last couple of days, except for now we have to find the slope. So we are adding that step 1 in there. We're adding one more step. So now simplify here. 2 times 1 is 2. And then one step, get rid of that 2. So we're going to subtract it from both sides. So b is 3. So then we can rewrite our equation. Y equals 2x plus 3. Okay, same type of question here, slope-intercept form. Write the equation in slope-intercept form that passes through these points, -1, 3, and 9, -8. So again, step 1 is our slope. That y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y out of that second point is -8, minus y out of the first is 3. And then x out of our second is 9, minus x out of our first is -1. So when we simplify this, we have -8 minus 3 at the top, so that would be -11. And at the bottom, we have 9 minus a -1, which would turn into 9 plus 1, so that would be 10. Now this slope does not simplify down, so we're going to have to leave it this way. All right, and then step 2, we're going to pick one of those points. I'm going to pick the -1 and 3. And let's plug them in. So y is 3 here, equals m, which is our slope, and x from our point. Then we have this plus b. So now we have to simplify. -11 times -1 is going to be 11, and 10 times 1 at the bottom is going to be 10. So we're going to have to minus and subtract 11 tenths from both sides. And if you want to think about this, 11 tenths is really 1 and 1/10 that we're subtracting. So b is going to equal 3 minus 1 is going to give us 2, but then we're going to have to subtract 1/10 from that. So we're going to be left with 1 and 9/10. And then rewrite this in slope-intercept form. So y equals -11 tenths x plus, and we can make this back into improper. So remember, go around and multiply and then add. So 10 times 1 is 10 plus 9 is 19 tenths. Or you could leave it 1 and 9 tenths here, but just don't want to get it mixed up. 1 and 9 tenths. I don't want it to be confusing with that whole number and fraction in there. All right. Example 3, write the equation in slope-intercept form that passes through the points 0, 5 and 4, 8. So again, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y out of that second point is 8, minus y out of the first is 5. And then x out of the second is 4, minus x out of the first is 0. So 8 minus 5 is 3. 4 minus 0 is 4. So our slope is 4/3. And then pick a point. I'm going to pick 0, 5. Doesn't matter which one you pick. You're going to solve and find that b is the same number. All right, so 5 is our y. 3/4 is our slope. Our x is 0. Oops. And then plus b. So anything times 0 is 0. So that simplifies to 0. So 0 plus something is going to give us 5. So b would be 5. So y equals 3/4 x and a positive 5 for a y-intercept. And then our last one here gives us a table with 3 different points on the line, and it says write the equation in slope-intercept form for this line. So we have 3 points. We only need 2 of them. So I'm just going to pick the first one and the second one. Doesn't matter which 2 you pick, you're going to end up with the same equation. Your work's going to look different, but your equation will be the same at the end because they're all on the same line. So y out of the second point would be 8, and y out of the first is 5, so 8 minus 5. And then x out of the second is 3 minus x out of the first is 2. So 8 minus 5 is 3, 3 minus 2 is 1. That would simplify down to 3. And again, pick one of the points. I'm going to pick 2, 5. Y is 5 equals m is 3. Our x is 2. And we have to figure out what that b is. So simplify. One-step equation. We have to get rid of the 6, so we're going to subtract it from both sides. So b is negative 1. So our equation would be y equals 3x minus 1.